Welcome back to this thing. So, time
this
for
game, which should have been called Shadow 2 and Silver.
Hey, you're Shadow, aren't you? It's been a while.
Hi, Herman.
Herman
I'm on a
Munster?
boring assignment today. I have to test people to see if they have what it takes to be an agent.
So yeah, can you do this boring assignment for me? I love how the game literally admits that it's about
test you took years ago. You have to react to rings and see how many you can get through within the
But
time
we're
before we
already
see.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Apparently now, we here at Gunner just
You want to try
walking
it
out,
for old time's sake?
asking random schmucks to just take the test, even if they're physically unfit to
Actually,
be a
it's because remember he's a gun agent, and you're a gun agent, so basically it's help between agents.
But are Gun really this desperate for new agents that they're just asking random schmoes on the street?
Shadow's not a random schmo. Shadow's a gun agent.
Schmo. He's a
No,
gun agent.
he said, he's asking people to go through this test.
Is
True.
he really?
True, he did say
man.
that. True,
Yeah,
he
but
did
he
say that. But anyway,
Oh.
So he is just asking random schmoes.
so
Well,
anyway,
okay. To be fair, he's asking random schmoes that come up to him, so obviously...
this is
people
part of a
want
group
this
of free
thing.
side quests that involve Shadow agent tests. They test different things.
Basically,
This is agent test for strength. I failed to
I-
realize how going through rings tests my strength. I guess my strength of patience. I guess, but
But Pedro, totally seeing how fast you can go through rings shows your strength, and totally not your speed.
this
What?
mission
Let me guess.
is incredibly easy.
Let me guess, they do a test of speed, but it's the one that's supposed to be the test of strength.
The rings are
Not the wrong way around.
The rings are always visible, and even when they aren't, there's a spring that will immediately take you where you're supposed to go anyway. So trust me, like as long this
only way
mission
you'll
is an
miss
incredibly easy S ring.
Yeah, the only way you'll mess this mission up is if you fall off the roofs.
And here are the last rings, and we're done.
Remember, this is supposed to be easy because the gun agent said that even Shadow himself did it in the past.
But here's the I like how he admits up front that it's a boring assignment, and yet he has us do it anyway. The game literally knows that it's
Wow.
boring, but
You're
it doesn't
not
care.
bad. You topped your own agent
Okay.
record. Shadow, you're great.
No.
Of course I am.
Thanks for wasting my time, dipshit.
Well, at least it's not applaudingly stupidly.
Alright, and you got a...
Hey, asshole! Excuse me, asshole!
Hey! Hey! What the heck?
What happened to the guy on the right? Fun fact:
Pedro.
this exact same thing happened to
Is-
Johnny.
Yeah. Pedro, is this landing return now?
No.
They just walked on and they vanished.
Did Motor Toriana sneaked in?
It's a fun fact.
He's one of the
This
NPCs.
that exact same thing happened to Johnny on this exact same winning screen of this mission. The exact same thing happened to Johnny. So I guess it's just something that has to do with this particular mission for some reason.
Oh
They just
my
programmed the citizens to be a bunch of rude fucks.
No. Trust me. Compared to the NPCs in Latin Returns, this is wonderful. I assure you.
Yeah, it is.
Holy fuck.
There's still fucks in this thing.
What is this game?
It's a terrible piece of crap too. That's what it is.
Like, again, Byron.
Ah!
Like, again, it boggles my mind that both Sonic Team and Sega thought that this presentation would have been acceptable to release for $60 to the general
Actually,
public.
Well, let me
Sonic-
put it like this,
Sonic
Tails.
Team- Sonic Team didn't. Sonic Team
Yeah,
didn't. It's just
it was
Sega
Sega
forced
that
it
did.
Sega didn't.
Sonic-
Okay, Rouge, can you stop dying?
Here's the thing, Tio. Sonic Team themselves actually were practically pleading and begging not to be forced to
Yeah,
this.
they
It
were.
was Sega.
But
Basically,
they
here's the
forced
deal.
them because of the anniversary thing.
Here's the deal. Ever since Sega got bought up by this corporation called Sammy, Sega of Japan have been doing a lot of the stupid decisions we expect from Sega
Oh,
of Japan.
okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sega were making mistakes, that were
Like
governed
the
by their
Saturn
pride before,
and the
like the Saturn.
Dreamcast.
But it was with Sega Sammy where they started to get
you-
really darkly stupid.
And here's the last power up that you
Oh,
can buy
look,
for.
the actual Chaos Blast from Shadow the Hedgehog. Pedro, you gonna show what the Chaos Blast can do in this game?
I would if I knew how to do it, because the game doesn't really. There's no tutorial for it, and the game doesn't really do that. Description doesn't really explain how to do it. I have no idea how the Chaos Blast works. You're supposed to find energy cores and fill those free little things you see in the bottom right corner, but I don't know how exactly to do it. And
Just find the energy cores, you beat enemies.
I know, but I don't. But
it's essentially like the Methyllus boss fight, where you have to beat his shadows enough to then fill up your meter so you can turn red, and that gets him off your shadow.
the one I understand, though, it's nowhere near as impressive as the one in Shadow the Hedgehog. So.
Exactly my point.
In Shadow, you have a mission from Gun.
Oh, great. Let me guess. You want me to go for rings?
Dr. Eggman's robot stole some information from Rimlight.
Oh no!
Get the disc
Guys,
back.
we have an important mission now.
Also,
It's
what is that girl doing? Like,
Rimlight's information is included on the discs. There's a total of
that's
3
that working cycle. She's like a
discs
Castlevania.
twice in the same sentence, the same bit of dialogue. It's not the most urgent task, but can you? It's not the most urgent.
Corporate espionage is not the most urgent task.
All right, everybody. It's an emergency.
Are you
Somebody stole.
about Rimlight?
Somebody stole the information discs from the Rimlight Corporation, and now we have to recover them, guys.
Oh no.
Is Rimlight like a fusion of Microsoft and Sony? They've got the ineptitude of Microsoft, yet the leaking of Sony.
I don't know, Joe.
Like
But
I said,
I don't know, Joe. But the leaking of Sony is cool.
I don't know, Pedro. I mean, remember how Sony actually have accidentally leaked stuff to the point where you can get some games for free?
And you're talking like as if this is a bad thing.
Oh no! It's a great thing for us consumers. I'm just saying it shows how Sony are kind of a bit stupid at maintaining their stuff.
Well, at least there's
Venoms.
their stupidity is my game, Jova, so I'm not complaining.
Again,
Not
Jova,
to mention
I'm
how they let the
convinced-
Venom movie.
Again, Jova, I'm
True.
convinced that in some cases it's actually kind of a sort of stealth publicity.
Yeah, because this has been happening for years. So me and Teo are starting to think, okay, this can't be just stupidity anymore. There has to be something more.
Okay.
Not all the time, I mean.
I would agree with you guys if it weren't for the PS3 fiasco where people's live accounts got, their asses.
No, okay,
got
that
leaked.
was legitimately.
That was
that
hackers,
is what
though.
can be-
That was hackers doing
Well-
it, though.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's because of Sony's god awful actual security that the hackers got in.
But it is just
easily.
collection.
True, yeah.
Not to mention
That's
the
the
fact that there was
information
also
disc.
that
One of the
phenom-
free information discs
Oh.
we're supposed to get to.
Oh,
Not to
okay,
mention there's also that phenomenon that actually, remember how Sony ended up leaking all their plans in advance too? Like
Sure.
that wasn't even hacking, that was just straight
was
up
that
Anyway.
was that the one that screwed over the entirety of that movie, the interview?
Yeah, let me just explain this though. Basically,
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
this mission is nothing but just yet another beat all the mooks mission. The only
But you have to
difference-
get the discs.
that doesn't really change anything. You're still doing the same shit you've been doing before.
Pedro. The discs are important. Rimlight is a company that has somehow managed to profit off of pure energy that is not explained whatsoever. So clearly this company is worth our time.
Apparently, the game thinks it is. But so I guess. Yeah.
Hey.
Great
Leaves
job. I'll take these back to headquarters right away. We'll send your reward later.
Sorry.
His voice suddenly deepened.
Also, this guy is called Par.
He in between this, he
Par.
got a cold.
So what? Is he a member of the Park family from The Incredibles?
Nah, Joe, this.
No, this isn't fun.
He isn't up to par.
No shit, Shiro. You're just now realizing this.
Get it up to par.
No,
Go to the
please.
corner.
Yeah.
All right, so
For once, I'm actually too tired for the puns.
go after it. Went to free Omega. I don't remember actually if we
Yeah,
were going to
sorry.
do any other side. Oh yeah, we actually have. Oh god, no, not this side mission. No.
Okay. Prepare to be amazed, guys, because you thought this game was stupid. You thought this game was stupid? Wait till you get a load of this side quest.
We're about
A load
to.
of this.
Okay, Shiro, prepare yourself because now this is a character you'll be playing, and she's one of them, and
Oh,
she's quite
goody.
possibly the most irritating bitch ever put in a Sonic game. You know,
Alright.
even more than Elise, and I don't say that lightly.
Wow.
Even more than Chris Thorndike?
Well,
I'm pretty annoying,
that's not canon with the games though, so it doesn't count.
You know what I mean,
But
though. I mean,
Pedro, there are posters of Sonic X in Sonic Adventure.
Wait, so I missed
Go
it?
ahead.
Mission
Goods.
from Gun. Lord Regis, an influential man in Soliana.
Wait.
targeted by
Lord
Red
Regis?
Man.
No,
Yes, indeed.
hold on, just
Before-
listen.
Lord Regis's daughter might also be in danger. Your mission is to protect her as her bodyguard.
No,
Why
no,
can't
he
you
doesn't.
do it?
Noctis as a sister? When?
Indeed, he does.
This will be a short-term assignment. until the Raging Red Regis.
I wish it was her, but it's not. Sorry.
It's a big,
Wait,
the base.
wait, Noctis is a sister?
Yes, he does. We saw this in the
Yes.
anime webs. Come on.
I
Oh,
couldn't-
right, her Wait, they really...
Iris.
Oh, yeah, that's...
No, that's Gladio's sister.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right. Sorry.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So
That's
Swinky,
Gladys'
One of them
sister.
has a sister.
The one
Sorry,
who was totally going to
sorry.
end up being Noctis's love interest. I know I'm going to call it.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you're an agent for gun? You don't look very cool, do you?
And I had
Excuse
Wow.
You look like
Oh,
someone
it's gonna get worse. Go ahead,
I was
Sabrina.
designed to be the coolest. Thank you very much.
I'm the coolest.
The ultimate life.
Go ahead.
Oh well, as a bodyguard, you will need to do everything I say.
Oh,
Go
no.
fetch me an ice cream.
Please, no.
Go get me a Starbucks, you swine.
Maria, I know I made a promise to protect mankind, but
Oh, I forgot. I'm Sabrina, the daughter of Lord Regis. You run Soliana, you see, so I'm in a different class than you.
I thought Princess Elite wants
sorry,
Soliana.
she's-
but I was told by my consultant that this is actually run by...
I thought Princess Elite wants Soliana.
Your name?
Oh, I like that movie.
That's okay. I don't need to know the name of an agent.
Your name. I don't know. I thought your name was a bit confusing.
Wow.
I don't need to know the name of the help.
Go ahead.
I'm so bored. Oh, I left the key Dad gave me under the bells.
Do you just drop your key often?
At least you
Did
didn't drop them in
you
the
just
river.
climb up the bell tower and leave your keys there?
No, it's not on top of it. Go ahead.
Okay. There's not a lot of time, so go get it in 5 minutes.
Seriously.
And there you go. That's why you have a time limit, because she just.
What? You want to know why do you have to get it? What do you mean? And you're not going to do what I say?
Oh my god.
So,
I don't like her.
why do we have to protect this girl again?
Because she's Lord
Because it's
Regis'
again
daughter, and Gunn was
You know what? I
hired.
think she'll be fine on her own.
And what exactly is she in danger from, you're probably wondering? Because X-Men's after Elise, not this girl.
Is it a bit too late to tell Silver that she may be the Iblis trigger?
Unfortunately, at this point in the story, yes.
So yeah, Teo.
True.
So yeah, Teo. This is something that not a lot of people realize, because a lot of people ignore the side missions. But there's actually a bitch in this game that's worse than Princess Elise, and
Amusing.
in just one side quest.
so there you go. Now this is part of me trying to expose this bitch. There you go. There's the key. Now we have to go back.
Wow, that's a pretty big key.
For you.
The heck does she even use it for?
I don't wanna know.
I don't know.
Chastity
The game never tells us. So
She's obviously
So,
smart.
yeah.
She has a really big front door.
All because her father, Lord Regis, must have gotten bored around Nibelheim, so he came here and dropped his daughter off, and Noctis will never know she existed. Probably for
Oh,
better.
the key. Just leave it there. Also, I just got a call from the shop.
Oh no, don't tell me.
girls and their clothes.
Speaking of a call.
Ugh.
actually no.
And somebody's phone's ringing.
Well, actually yeah.
They just got a new dresses
Oh.
and shoes. I've already ordered 5, so go pick them up.
No.
You know.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well,
You know.
well, no. I can tell you this. It's a good thing she's not calling you, because I can tell you from a personal experience. Do not let a girl come with you if you're in a clothes shop.
No.
They will stop dead
yeah.
center every
What?
5 seconds.
You can't? Who do you think I am?
I
spoiled
think that
bitch.
you are just a spoiled
This is
I
bitch.
am no
right.
idea
Going
how
off.
it works.
Now,
Not
the
a
name-
shadow
It's
of
not really worth my
a
time, and I know several women in my life who are worth more than an hour.
Hurry up and go.
Jesus. Again, the
You're
ultimate life
Shadow,
force.
you're fired.
The guy
Okay.
when
Okay.
come to terms and accept the fact we need to spare humanity and fought aliens to save it, is reduced to this.
You know, the
Also,
joke in
Ella-
Shadow the the joke in Shadow the Hedgehog was that Shadow was practically everyone's delivery boy, is their errand boy, but this took that to a new extreme.
And
Yeah.
it's sad.
So yeah, we had to
Teo,
find we had to find 5 presents that are hidden over the course of the city. Here's the problem: they don't show up on your map. Basically, just bumble around this huge upworld until you find them. Some
wait a
of them
minute.
are. Some
Her
of them are.
exact words were.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. Her exact words were, I ordered them from the shop. One
Yeah.
shop. Why are we rolling around finding dresses in different locales?
Because somebody was idiotic enough to drop them, I guess, on the way to
The
the
worst
shop.
thing is that they're not pointed at
Shadow!
your...
Shadow! This is the ghost of Maria. What are
The only
you
way you
doing?
get. So yeah.
Well, Maria, this just happens to be a part of my promise to you. I have no idea how this turn of events somehow led me to this very point, but somehow this will help save the world in the long run.
Really going to help someone fetch their clothes?
I don't
Oh,
know.
the only thing, if you ever
Shadow, I
encounter
don't-
a
Shadow, I
jackal,
don't-
just don't tell me that he's weak.
Shadow, I'm not sure the world is worth that.
I wonder too, but I made a promise to Maria,
Anyway,
and I
you
had
want-
to go through a whole traumatic backstory with me being half alien, made from some demon guy's blood. So,
You wanted to
like I
ask me
said,
if
there's no turning back now. Also,
wasn't-
there's only one random NPC there, a woman with a laptop. Where the heck is everyone?
She's playing the game on an emulator. Then.
You were saying
I was
to.
gonna ask you something. I was just gonna clarify something. I'm not offended by what you said because I've experienced that. I have to wait outside shops with Mena because dogs aren't allowed in, while my mother spends however long she takes looking at shit.
Wow. I don't
It's
get
cold
it.
outside and I'm waiting.
Dag. So, but yeah, you know what's the real sad thing? Is like, well, okay, look,
Anyway,
you know,
we're
okay, you know, all problems with this
Actually.
mission aside, this could have actually
Oh,
been funny.
Took you long enough. Can't you move any faster? You're useless.
Jesus, really?
So yeah, suddenly Elise doesn't sound so bad anymore, does she?
She's still bad, but this girl, I mean, at least Elise actually thanks people.
Well, at least Sabrina doesn't decide. Fuck the world.
Is it just me or does she kind of look like Jodie?
Well, actually, yeah, Dwebs,
Oh my God, you're right.
Dwebs does bring up a good point, actually.
Oh my God, she was right. She looks like Jodie.
I think she does, anyway.
Oh right. Now we have to actually.
The text!
Oh my God, she spoke.
I think the
Vocally.
text
The
broke.
text overlapped.
Also, guys, we have to protect her from robots.
No.
You know, I know that we'd have to go for a battle of loading sections, but this is one of those times when I'd be willing to actually purposely fail the
A whole
mission.
pack of robots.
Yes.
Like, seriously.
What does Eggman even want from this girl anyway?
They never explain it to you. It's just another excuse for a mission.
learning how to say please.
I mean, I know that I know Eggman has a lot of weird tastes about.
I mean, wow, that suddenly became dark. She said, "No, not here, please."
All right. Now we're gonna get what is supposed to be the payoff of this. Go ahead.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
there's music though.
But you just did what you were supposed to do as an agent, that's all.
hold on. Let her
Let's wait and
finish.
see.
Let her finish.
Let me see. Let me guess. Soon.
Yes. Very good.
By the way, what's your name? Shadow? No big deal. I was just curious.
Oh boy.
So this was
Keep her
supposed.
away from me.
So let me
She's
get this
starting
straight.
She's starting to get a crush on him.
Let me get this straight.
And you can see that for that animation that she's doing right now. where
Oh
she-
God, she's doing the lovely
Let me
W
get this straight. In
animation.
terms of bestiality, Sony gets Princess Elise, Shadow gets these spoiled Tsundere bitch.
by 220 points. Jeez.
And what's sad is that the Tsundere bitch is actually more of a.
Fun fact: the only reason I got an A rank there was because I had to stop to read so that Shiroi would be able to read. If I just skipped all of her dialogue, I would have gotten an S rank.
Again,
I'm
what kind of
sorry.
game is honestly? No, seriously, it's not your fault because okay, any game that counts reading text as part of a time limit, that's just BS.
I
Trust
agree.
me, I hate it when the timer still goes down during cutscenes.
There's side missions in Ni no Kuni 2 where there's time limits, and guess what? When you stop and talk to an NPC, the timer stops while you're doing
I mean,
that.
you know, guys, counting dialogue as part of the time limit, that's something that we expect from the old days like Final Fantasy IX on the PlayStation 1.
Even Persona 5 gets guilty of this during the Okumura boss fight.
Yeah, that's really annoying. Especially because all the dialogue in the bosses are voiced.
But screw you too! Well, you know what? I decided to just end it all.
I was gonna say, he's had quite the time.
But Shadow, you're back.
Shadow, you need to.
Unfortunately.
Well, of course, I have 99 more to burn through.
Well, actually, Joe, but you don't lose lives if you die in the
Oh,
hub
that's right, I
world.
forgot
So
you don't lose lives if you die in the hub
Can you
world.
imagine getting a game over in the hub world?
you can't, Shiro. We literally just explained. You don't lose lives.
No,
You
I
can't.
know.
Yeah, I think you could do that in
Adventure
Adventure.
1, yeah, I think Adventure 1 had it, and Sonic Unleashed as well. Did it?
I don't
does
think you could
Sonic
actually
Unleashed
fall
have
off the
any-
edge in Unleashed.
Actually, you can,
Yeah.
Shiro. There are hub, like for example, there's one for example, like when you're trying to get to the Acts 3 and onwards of
Why is Rouge constantly
The Grease
dying?
world.
Tails
Jesus.
didn't
That's
do
the-
it.
Actually, actually, Tails did die quite a bit in the hub world. That's a thing.
No, I remember that it beast much as Rouge.
Again, here's the thing. Because, okay, here's how the spawning system goes. They will generally spawn close to you. Here's the thing, though. Because you're constantly moving, the NPCs will spawn at a certain rate, which means sometimes the NPCs will spawn over a death ball. Like,
Oh my
seriously. Like,
You know what's sad? That last bratty, character actually has only slightly more of a personality than Elise does.
I know. Like, I mean, at least she actually has more of an arc. Because,
I mean,
well,
her character is flat as all hell, but still,
And
like,
I
she has more to her than Elise.
And I will admit, you could consider that quest a bit humorous in the sense of its tonal dissonance. Like, it is kind of actually funny to imagine Shadow on a mission for Gun, having to protect this bratty girl doing all this stuff. That's all nice and all. I think the problem is like, well, maybe... Okay. Granted, it's a side quest, so you don't have to
Pedro,
do
what
it.
are you doing?
I think
I'm looking for side missions too.
No, I mean the whole sweeping the leg doesn't make you go faster.
I'm bored, so I need to press buttons to keep my brain
Skipping
active.
and Kuni, except not as charming.
Don't you see, guys? Shadow is doing his bit to clean up the town. That's how he sweeps the streets.
Of course. It reminds me of how Spider-Man's webs actually do help recycle when he leaves them
So
on the
that's why
buildings.
those shoes were made.
So
Anyway, but
yeah, turns out there's no more side
Bleeding
missions.
Liliana.
Turns
But
out
yeah,
there's
but
no
yeah.
more side missions, so we're gonna move on.
But yeah, the thing was like, well, I complain about that side quest with the daughter, but it's actually one of the more funnier moments. The problem is like, well, maybe if it were in a more better fitting game, or if they actually did more with that, because if I recall correctly, that's like the only side quest with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
It's just a one-off like that.
Sabrina has that one side quest and that's it.
which is kind of a shame because again, like I
Alright,
say,
time for Rouge to die
All right,
again.
Shadow does not use. Oh, go ahead, Jova. Oh, never mind. I skipped it. Go ahead, Shiro.
You can get to the ocean near the gate that leads into the whatever.
The city.
yeah, how do I get across the water?
You fly.
Basically, what happened is I forgot. I was expecting. I was expecting. Yeah, I forgot that you were supposed to use the
there's the
spring
spring,
instead of
yeah.
the ring dash. So
The
sorry.
problem with the spring pad is that it's hidden out of sight. Like,
Yeah, it is. They should
mean-
have put it there in the where the ring trail starts in Sonic's campaign. That would have made more sense.
So
Yeah.
why did the E213 Omega actually went to Wave Ocean?
He's now
He went
fighting
after
Mephiles. He's now
Mephiles.
fighting Mephiles, so we need to provide some help.
oh,
boy,
goody! I think this is another one where you can actually do nothing and you'll essentially have enough health to live.
Actually, no. This particular one, you do need to.
Oh, right, I forgot. Yeah, here's the thing. See, the irony with Shadows thing is like, well, see, Emerald Beach. I mean, god dang it. What is this beach
It's because of
called?
the. It's because of the Wave Ocean.
Wave
Joe.
Ocean.
It's because of
Wave
the
Ocean
tunnel.
was easiest for Sonic, but now it's one of the harder levels for Shadow because, see, now we're listening to the Mach Speed tune.
That's because well, I'm guessing, Joe, but this is supposed to be the gimmick, the special gimmick tune in the sense that it's for Sonic's gimmick is the Mach Speed zones. Shadow's gimmick is the hang glider
Vehicle,
parts. But anyway, the point is. The reason why this one cannot be won by doing nothing is because you have to go into the sun. In order to go into the tunnel, you have to move, and you have to make sure you keep up. Because this is the longest hang glider section, so if you don't do anything, you will die. So this one, you actually need to actually use the controller in this one. Sorry.
True, I forgot. Oh, well, except for when you're doing the hard mode missions or the Amigo DLC.
Well, the Amigo DLC doesn't have hang glider.
Really? I'm pretty sure there's one.
No. Jova, it's in the title. Amigo, as in friend, as in you only play as the friends, aka the secondary characters, Amy, Blaze, Rouge.
No, I'm pretty sure. What about there's the Amigo version of Crisis City? Unless that's hard mode.
Yes, there is, and you play. And yes, there is, Jova, and you play it as Tails.
You're right, Pedro. When you destroy something, it's telegraphed to actually gravitate towards you.
Yeah,
Also, maybe I'm just thinking about the hard mode thing, but in the
you're
hard mode,
thinking of the hard mode. Yeah, you're thinking of the hard mode. There's a difference. Amigo is different layouts. Amigo, the hard mode is the same layouts but harder, except for some ones.
Well, okay. To be fair, with hard mode, you actually play as all 3 team members and all levels.
Oh,
you do.
now suddenly
Yeah, but the Amigo DLC is where you play as the secondary characters: Omega, Tails, Blaze, Rouge, Amy. You know, all the Amigo characters. But go ahead.
So here's the deal with Omega. He is essentially not counting Sonic's Mach Speed sections, Omega is the fastest character. He has the best sense of acceleration. He has the highest consistent speed. Omega is the fastest character in a Sonic game, with Sonic in it.
Not just that, Jova.
I thought he was supposed to be engaging Nephilim.
He's chasing after him.
But he said engage. I mean, he's shooting him all.
Well,
he means engaging into battle.
He needs to reach him first, I believe.
Not just what Jova said, but there's also the problem that you know how Gamma in Sonic Adventure 1 had a hovering ability?
Well, to be fair, Omega could also grind in heroes.
Omega also has a hover ability. Here's the big difference. If you mash the A button instead of holding it, you don't lose altitude, which means you can literally use this to break the game and have Omega reach sections he's not supposed to go to.
So here's the weird thing. In a weird sense,
there you go.
Omega...
See, if you mash, it doesn't lose altitude. So as a result, you're able to basically bypass entire sections, basically.
So when you get down to it, Omega is essentially the equivalent to Tails on Shadow's team, which is, well, weird. Seeing as how Omega is more a power mode character. I mean, I get that they were doing a throwback to Adventure by making Roots the power equivalent to Knuckles again, but this is surreal, especially considering how Omega has no melee attacks. Yeah, Omega does not have any melee attacks.
I screw the fences. I can just fly over everything.
And don't get me wrong. Omega is still fun to play as in this game because he can pretty much barrel through most things.
Suddenly Shadow.
No, that was Mephiles.
Yeah, but we skip control to Shadow.
Why did the boxes all of a sudden just levitate like that?
Because the boxes decide to give up on life, I don't know.
Mephiles movement, don't you?
What about the boxes that just want to go to space by having Sonic Air Kick on them?
Gee, do I have to explain everything to you? You can't do any of your own thinking? Jesus.
Well, Pedro, they're boxes. Of course they want you to prefer them.
Now the music's
don't you talk about the boxes. Nakamura likes his boxes.
Also, like the song said, I don't know where we're going.
What's the lyrics in the background?
I don't know where we're going.
Remember, this was still when Sonic Team. This was kind of a transition period where Sonic Team was starting to stop with the more vocal-driven stuff of soundtracks and go into the more orchestral stuff that you'll see in games after this.
Not quite. Let's just say, it's weird. This is like them trying to replicate the Jet Set Radio feel from Sonic Rush. Only Sonic Rush did it more with class.
That's because Sonic Rush actually had Hideki Naganuma doing the music. If you're trying to do...
I forget, did Hideki
the only Sonic game Naganuma composed for was Sonic Rush 1.
I mean, I like the music track.
Yeah.
For Rush Adventure, it was Tomoe Otani.
And
it's like what Johnny said. Well, for Rush, you need to listen on your own because in game you get Sonic and Blaze go yeah.
Plus because it's on the DS, it sounds a bit compressed.
I'm actually wondering if Naganuma left Sega shortly after the first Rush game because they didn't get him back for Rush Adventure. It's a shame too because Naganuma's style was one of the things that made Sonic Rush stand out to me. So I really wish they would have kept him.
The reason they didn't bring him back for Rush Adventure is because they're going for a different tone in the music with Rush Adventure.
Don't get me wrong, I like the Rush Adventure soundtrack, but Naganuma, man.
The Rush soundtrack.
Don't worry,
is the
Pedro.
best.
Don't worry, Pedro. I'm sure when we eventually get a new Jet Set radio game, they'll bring them back.
I like the Mission Adventure soundtrack, but I don't think it's one of Otani's best. That's my favorite Otani soundtrack is still the Sonic Unleashed one.
So what are you supposed to go now with the...
Find the gold ring!
Did I
Now,
mention that this is one of those gold rings that you have to sort of play a bit of treasure hunter to find?
the problem is that the game doesn't...
Can you shoot Echo the Dolphin there?
The problem is that the game doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do. Like, just bumble around shooting at things and hope you
This
find the
is-
gold ring.
This is the problem, see? Normally when Sonic and Shadow sections, it's just point A to point B. Yet here you're essentially doing the equivalent to a treasure hunter stage with Shadow. Because you have to find the gold ring that's hiding. Oh, and watch out for those, because then they will sink you.
Okay,
Again,
so...
just like the towers in Kingdom Valley.
So yeah, it turns out you're supposed to go... Hold on. Here.
Here.
In this
There we go.
in this remote corner behind a rock. Thanks.
Hidden.
Thanks.
Why?
Thanks, designers. Thanks.
Because Mephiles is a troll to you.
Alright, let's see how many,
Hey, Rank.
You missed by almost 5,000
Yeah.
points.
yeah, it's not like it was any close.
Alright, and now that we're done, time for cutscene. After the medal.
Yay.
Got a gold medal.
Like I care.
For all that it's worth.
Alright.
Pew pew pew.
It's amazing how Omega's weapons look and sound so unimpressive in this game.
Like,
Even
seriously.
Mephiles is
in-
not amused.
Dan, I know you're trying, but it's not worth it.
The ultimate life form.
Seriously, Mephiles, you're trying to convince Omega?
Well, actually, no. This is actually true. It's really stupid, but it's true.
Well, I know that Omega defected already once from Eggman, but...
No, not from Eggman Tail. Hold on, they're gonna explain.
Yeah, it's
Why
true.
can I do that in the game? Why can I do that in the game?
Hell, Omega can do that in Sonic Heroes. Why can't he
I
do
guess
it?
Didn't Johnny edit this down to make it sound like Omega was actually interrupting Mephiles?
Yeah.
That was yours.
Shadow, Shadow,
Oh, that's
Rouge,
it.
why didn't you help me? You were sitting here behind me all the time. You could have helped me, just saying.
Okay, this is
So
some of
here's
the
the
better
revelation. Hold on, revelation
The
show.
one that defeats and seals you in the future is me.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, this scene could have worked better if they didn't give Omega that stupid monotone voice.
Not just that, Joe, but did you notice how Shadow's reaction face, where he had you could see his teeth, he was like he was gritting his teeth. Like that face was so... And it doesn't help that this actress sucks balls. That doesn't help either.
Here to defend the world.
I'm sorry, lady. I'm sure you're a nice lady, but you suck at this profession. Sorry.
And that's the sad thing, is like when we go, because again, like I said, this is actually one of the better stories, because not only do we see Shadow stay and develop as a character, but we actually do get to see the nice team dynamic and relationship between Team Dark as well, pretty much the Three Musketeers.
Let me basically explain it to you, too. Basically, when the world gets devastated by Mephiles and Gunn starts looking for the culprit, they decide to order Omega to hunt down Shadow.
Which makes sense because if you recall in Heroes, Omega was actually the one tasked with guarding Shadow while he was just suspended. Basically, he is a robot made to bring down the ultimate life form.
My problem is that it's both this, like the execution of...
Wait, this line. Okay, she said, if the world turns against you, I'll remain by your side. That's actually the better version of what a certain character says in Silver's story.
True. But anyway, like my problem with this particular storyline is, again, like Jova just said, the presentation of the cutscenes completely ruins
Take that away, and let's imagine that this was actually voice acted well with, characters that emoted more properly. This is actually a good story to tell. Like,
the writing is still very mediocre, though.
The reason stories like this works is because, it makes sense that Shadow might still have some doubts about, trying to actually help.
I don't know, Joe. We spent, 3 games at this point trying to prove the fact that he's actually a good guy.
Oh, by the way, Anyway, don't worry. Okay, we have...
Let's come out of nowhere.
Anyway, Tio, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more so about Shadow maybe having some self-doubts about how people might trust him. And I mean, considering how, like you yourself said, it's taking this long for them to finally trust him.
For
like,
some reason,
Yeah, like Emiko, I mean, it's a nice story element. Shadow maybe having some self-doubt, but eventually, rising above it. And, the story does actually handle that well. The problem is the presentation and scenes like that. And what's sad is, again, the actress who plays Omega in this game, she can do Omega better as she's shown in the Olympic Games, and, what's that? What was that other game she actually voiced Omega for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, mind you, the guy who voiced him in Shadow the Hedgehog probably wouldn't have retired, and they'd still voice direct him to sound like here.
My problem is that, again, aside from the presentation, I don't find the writing to be particularly all that good. And quite honestly, I'm getting a bit tired of this whole humanity hates Shadow thing, because by this point they're just milking it for all the milk, the drops that it still has.
To be fair, the reason I'm okay for this is because we know it's BS in this one. It's not actually legit, except for the bad future thing, though. Here's the thing, though. The bad future thing pretty much matters jack all in the long run of
that's
things.
fair.
That's fair, isn't it? Shiroi, your thoughts on the storyline? Why not? Since you haven't said anything.
It's still the best of the three, but it's still pretty mundane.
I'm not gonna say that it's award-winning writing or anything. Any moron could write it in its sleep. What I'm saying is this story feels like it has the most ambition. This is part of why I coined the term for this game, Shadow 2.
Well, of the three stories, this is the one that has an actual theme. So.
And like I said, this is Shadow 2 and Silver. Seriously, it's even like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where Silver gets convinced by Shadow after being beaten in a fight that he's
I have a
tricked,
question, though.
just like how Knuckles was being tricked by Eggman in Sonic 3 and
Why
Knuckles.
were there enemies invading from the desert exactly?
Oh, there you go, Lord Regis.
Because Mephiles.
Thank you. I'm Lord Regis. I
thought you were
You
the
need
mayor.
to look after your child.
Yes.
The town has been turned upside down ever since Princess Elise was abducted. I hope it will all be solved soon.
You are a terrible lord, you know that, right?
Boy,
What has brought you here? You're a gun agent. Oh, I see.
Boy, Lord Regis really let himself go after getting killed.
I'll tell the gatekeeper to let you through the gates to the desert anytime.
So basically, he had to fake his death, and now he's the mayor of Soliana.
What a terrible downgrade. Omega, you can stop.
He's stretching. Because as a robot, he's gotta maintain that cardio. Right.
He skipped leg day, clearly.
Yes. So, now what?
Well, that was stupid. Alright, everybody, in the next part, if I remember correctly, we do
We're
finish
about
Shadow
to finish
Story.
up Shadow Story.
Yeah. Well, if I remember, next part is the last part of Shadow Story, if I remember correctly. So, yeah.
Oh, goody, the
Tune in for that.
desert level. Either Pedro's is gonna have a good time, or you're gonna
Nah,
run
not
into
really.
that
I,
stupid-
honestly, I find Shadow's desert ruins to
Remember,
be...
Joe,
Oh,
the
good,
worst,
good.
the worst version of that level is the one with Silver.
And even then,
Well,
you can
I know that,
even
but-
then you can get around it with the.
I sent word to the guards that you pass from the entrance to the desert. Please use it at your convenience.
Oh, I know about that, but remember, guys, because this game is so inconsistently glitchy, some people get copies of games where the Shadows Desert level has a really stupid glitch involving the hovercraft, where basically, if you so much as bounce the wrong way, you'll end up flipping over, and then the sand will actually encompass you, even though it shouldn't.
All right, everybody. See you for the next part then.
See ya.
See you then.
See ya.
See ya.